guys want a strong core? You guys want to learn dragon flags? Let's go, follow along. You already know, you're here with the Prez today, guys. I'm bringing you another video. Today's a full core workout, but it's only going to be about dragon flags. Listen, dragon flags are my #1 favorite core training exercise. Has the most translation over the skill moves such as the front lever, planche, etc. It's going to teach you how to engage everything. It's going to involve minimal other muscles, mostly all core work, right? So dragon flags, you guys seen it for years. One of the famous moves Bruce Lee has been doing. So today I'm going to show you the full dragon flag and the way you guys could be training for it from a beginner to the more advanced. So all the regressions up into full dragon flag. Let's get it. So let's just start with showing you guys what a full dragon flag is supposed to look like. Perfect form. Now remember, one thing you guys need to know. When doing the dragon flag, you're going to be supported by something. Your arms or your hands have to be anchored onto something to provide leverage. The more that you have your arms bent like this, the more that your arms are going to be doing the work. The more that you're going to be engaging your upper body and your biceps to help you lift your body. The more leverage you're going to be providing from the arms by pressing down into the surface. The longer your arms are, the less bent that they are, the harder the exercise is going to be. The more core engagement, the more glute engagement you're going to need. So I'm going to show you it fully locked out, arms fully extended, the hardest variation of the dragon flag, lifting up off a bench, raising, perfect form, everything engaged. So this is what a dragon flag should look like. Alright, so the first problem I see people have when trying to do dragon flags is they lack the core and the glute engagement, and they're never tight. There's always a bend and a pike in the hips, causing more of a banana back type of look, right? But not in a banana back like this, more pike like this, where you're more in a V. That's not what you want to look like. So the first thing you guys need to do is make sure you have flat back and everything engaged from here. So we're going to start like we start most advanced movements. We're going to start in a tuck position. So we're going to start legs up, feet flat on the floor. Now remember what I told you guys. The more bent your arms, the more leverage you're going to get and the more assistance you're going to get from your upper body. So first things first, we're going to keep our feet flat just like this. And we're going to practice raising from here. All we're going to do is get our hips off the bench until we're horizontal, and we're going to land back in the starting position. Watch the form. From here, lifting up, dropping down, keeping all this straight. So we're going to start with our back off, feet up, here, lift up, come back down. Lift up, come back down. That's progression #1. Once you get comfortable at learning how to use that leverage from pulling your arms onto the bar and engaging your hips and lifting your hips up off the bench, now you're ready to start learning how to engage the glutes and tightening up, which is going to help you, force you from getting into that V position and force you to keep engaged throughout the whole exercise. So again, now instead of having our feet up, we're going to start with our legs flat. Now what we're going to do, we're going to stay in that bent arm position. We're going to come almost into a reverse L. So what we're going to do, bring our feet straight up like this. Now from here, we're going to squeeze our glutes. And at the same time, we're going to hold this bar. We're going to be pushing into the bar for leverage. So it's going to look like this. Up, and then just drop the hips. Up, drop the hips. Squeeze, drop the hips. Squeeze, drop the hips. Squeeze, drop the hips. Now you want to be aiming for sets of 10. Pike lifting up, dropping the hips, that's 1 rep. Work up to sets of 10 before you move on to the next progression. Alright, now once you start getting comfortable at being able to raise yourself up into that vertical position from that L and engaging your glutes, now we can start working down. But if I was to tell you guys to do a negative with full range of motion, you would have no control over it yet at this stage because we have not worked that range of motion yet. The negative is going to provide the most amount of resistance. Now it's going to be the hardest to control. So what we're going to do, now we're going to combine exercise 1 with exercise 2 for 1 complete movement. Now this is going to be progression 3. So again, we're going to start laying flat. Bent arm position so you get that leverage. Come up to an L, pike. Now from here, we're going to drop our knees into that halfway position and then drop back down. Drop the hips,
Raise back up, come up, down, drop the hips, raise back up, squeeze, come down.
So the purpose of working the negative in that half lay position, in that tuck position, is to get your body used to coming from vertical down, because that's where gravity is going to supply and apply the most resistance to your body. You're going to be fighting against gravity the most there. So being able to control it in that tuck position is going to strengthen your body in that whole range of motion. And then we can start working full range of motion negatives, which is going to be the next progression. All right, once we get good at those half tuck negatives, now we're ready to fully extend and work full range of motion negatives. Remember, it's going to be very demanding on the core. You're going to feel a big pull and stretch in your stomach as you go down. Always maintain the tight glutes, squeeze the glutes. You do not want to come down like this. You do not want to start coming down like this, where you're arched. Everything tight, toes pointed straight, straight line, everything engaged. So we're going to get into the negative the same way. Lay down, bent arm, so we get the leverage. Come up to an L, tight. Now from here, point your toes, squeeze, touch. Touch the bench, reset up. Put your legs up, squeeze, control it down. Now in working these negatives, full range of motion, work for a range of about 1 to 6 reps. Once you can hit 6 reps for about 3 sets, you're ready to move on to the next progression, which is going to be more drills now to help you maintain and work on engaging those glutes. All right, so far, the majority of the training has focused on eccentric, full range of motion reps, right? We haven't really worked on lifting our body up off the bench besides that first exercise when we did it in a tuck position. But by the time you get done with working those full range of motion negatives, your body is going to get used to being engaged. It's going to be used to being tight and working through space fully locked out. So now it's time to start keeping your body fully locked out in that front lever position and trying to raise off the bench into that dragon flag position. So what we're going to do now, this is going to be a drill to help you work on maintaining that glute engagement and raising off the bench in a full dragon flag. So again, laying flat, we'll keep our arms bent for this drill. For all the drills, we'll work on keeping our arms bent. As you get stronger over time with the dragon flag, you can slowly start increasing your range of motion and relying less on the leverage of the bar or whatever surface you're holding on to, right? So now we're going to work on the drill. So what we're going to do, feet together, lying flat on the bench. First thing you're going to do, you're going to raise your feet about a foot to about maybe 1.5 feet. Now what we're going to do, we're going to thrust. We're going to fully engage our glutes until we come out into a dragon flag. Very tough move. So from here to there, right? That's the movement that you want to work towards. If you're still not ready and you still don't have the strength to fully do that, here's a progression you guys can work. Again, we're going to come into that half tuck position now. But what we're going to do now, we're going to take our feet off the floor, taking our feet off of the bench or whatever surface you're using. Feet are elevated now. Using this, what I want you to do, open, come back down. Open, come back down. Open, come back down. Because what this is teaching you is having to go from non-engaged core to full glute engagement and core activation. So again, I'll show you the full version, and then I'll show you the regression if you're not ready for that again. So once you get good at those negatives, you should have the strength to do a couple of these reps. So arms bent for the leverage, feet up. All we're going to do is squeeze, almost like doing a hip thrust like this, except now our feet are off the bench, right? So from here, feet up, drop, drop. And you want to hit those for reps. Those are going to really increase your overall core strength, glute activation, really help you work on that time under tension in that dragon flag hold. So here's the regression again. You can't do it fully locked out. Start, feet on the floor, come up, now raise. So you're really tucked, right? And now we're going to open up. Open, drop, open, drop, drop. And over time, you can start opening with one foot fully. Here. and eventually you'll be able to get to that level you could raise off the bench. Alright, so once you get good at those dragon flag pike ups, now you pretty much have the strength to start working on full dragon flag raises. But before we get into a full rep, we're going to work on an isometric hold and full lockout. So once you get good at the pike ups, being able to rep them, you should have built up enough strength to now do an isometric hold. So
what we're going to do, same thing. I'm going to do it in the advanced version for you guys to demonstrate. Fully locked out arms. Raising the hip, raising the feet first, squeezing. Now we're just going to hold.
Once you can work up to 5-10 second isometric hold from that piked up position, you're now ready to have the strength to fully lift in that dragon flag position and hit them for reps. So let's get it. All right, so once you went through all the progressions, remember guys, don't rush through it. Start at the first variation, the tuck raise. From there, work on opening up, work on your negatives, work on getting those dragon flag pike isometrics. Once you got that, you're ready for full dragon flag raises. So let's get it.
And remember, full form, actual form is supposed to be locked out arms. So that's how I'm gonna do it for you guys. Raising straight off the bench.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Let me know if you need any other tips on the dragon flag. And remember, dragon flag is going to have an excellent translation over the front lever training. Going to involve using the same muscles, same pulling muscles, same engagement of the glutes and the core. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Peace out. BARNATURALS. And you already know, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment. I appreciate it. Peace out. BARNATURALS.